Alright Darren, it's time for everyone's favourite puzzle-solving archaeologist to meet up with that ever-loyal blue-suited lawyer in Professor Layton vs Pheonix Wright Ace Attorney on 3DS. Professor, your opening statements if you'd be so kind.
Oh, affirmative. After meeting a rather peculiar girl, Espella, in London, our two heroes, along with their sidekicks Luke and Maya, are magically transported into the mysterious medieval world of Labyrinthia, where there are witches and knights. There's also the storyteller, a shadowy figure who writes down the story for Labyrinthia that always comes true.
And that must be this town's creator.
Yes, the plot is much darker than we've seen in the Layton games before, so the stakes are pretty high. But like both series, there's plenty of big mysteries and plot twists to keep you involved throughout the game.
The answer is out there, Goose. We just need to find it. Once you're in Labyrinthia...
Oh, objection! Your Honour, we can't talk any more about the story, Darren, without risking spoiling it.
I have to agree with the defence here. The gameplay consists of what we've seen in previous Layton and Ace Attorney games, and they actually work quite well together. About half the game is spent exploring various locations, talking to people for clues and solving puzzles, and the other half takes place in the courtroom, where you must defend your client by pressing witnesses for more information and presenting evidence that contradicts their statements.
Oh, objection!
I'm not a desk, Goose.
Sorry, Darren, but you did state that the gameplay is what we've seen in previous games. However, they have introduced some new elements. Like how courtroom cross-examinations can now take place with more than one witness on the stand, and you can question other witnesses if it seems like they're not at ease with someone else's statement. Therefore, it's not exactly the same as the previous game. Witness, tell us the truth.
Calm down, Goose. I was merely stating that both gameplay types blend well together. And as this is a world of magic, there's also a book of magic spells called the Grand Grimoire, which you can use in court as a form of evidence. Oh, also, I rather enjoyed seeing our heroes swapping roles throughout the game, like when Maya and Pheonix were the ones solving the puzzles and Layton was at the court bench.
Oh, affirmative, Darren. Didn't you just burn a circuit the first time that Professor Layton yelled out, "Objection!"
Objection.
Affirmative. Layton and Pheonix make a wonderful team.
I actually liked it when Luke and Maya teamed up for a bit, and the game as a whole has been streamlined from previous Layton and Ace Attorney games. Each location now shows how many hint coins are around, so you're not searching each location endlessly. And you can now use hint coins in the court for when you get stuck, as well as in the puzzles. Take that!
Plus, there aren't any collectible items scattered at each location, nor are there any ongoing puzzles to collect parts or pieces for, so you're much less distracted from the main story.
Oh, objection! I actually missed those puzzles, Darren, but I did like the way that the court cases now rely less on pages of evidence and more on the cross-examinations. How did you find the difficulty, Professor Darren?
I found it a bit easier than previous games. I got through all the puzzles without using a single hint coin. Every puzzle has a solution.
Oh, objection, Darren, that's not fair. You're a robot with a supercomputer.
Remember, Goose, a true gentleman never makes a scene in the good game office. The cutscenes were rather stunning though, weren't they?
Well, yes, they're all animated beautifully. And all the in-game character movements and locations have been crafted with such attention to detail, but some of the problems from the previous games are back as well. Sometimes in the courtroom, you'll know what the contradiction is, but it's not always obvious which piece of evidence to present or which statement to present it to, which can be a bit frustrating.
Affirmative. And it's worth noting that this game contains a lot of text and requires a lot of reading, so it might not be suitable for younger spawnings.
They have voiced a lot more of the dialogue in this game, but I would have loved to see more voice work overall.
I know where that ship was heading. Let's head to the port and meet Espella when she arrives.
Final thoughts, Professor?
Whilst the writing is still as witty and sharp as ever, it didn't feel like this game exceeded what we've come to expect from the Ace Attorney and Layton games. It is ultimately more of the same. 7.5 out of 10 rubber chickens.
Oh, objection! Darren, I think I enjoyed this just a little bit more than you, so I'm giving it an 8.
I hold you in contempt.
Objection!
Overruled.
Objection!
Overruled.
And can I request a short recess and cheese toasties?
Court is adjourned.
Yes!
I'll warm up the oven.